What's going on, nerds? It's time to address this week's OSR controversy that comes out of Monday's interview between the basic expert and Jethro from the BROSR. Jethro, of course, a very controversial figure in the gaming industry. Even I have fallen under Jethro's radar at least once. And he has made himself more controversial by associating himself with some very, very ugly anti-Semitic comments. And there are, of course, people defending his right to be anti-Semitic. So, fuck you for defending anti-Semitism and, people who purchase this. So, but, let's just save that for a sec. The first, we have to open this with the same thing we've said before in regards to all the statements that the OSR are baby-eating, zombie-loving, kitten-kicking hatists. Fuck the OSR, you're racist. Fuck the OSR, you're extreme right. Fuck the OSR, you're extreme left. Fuck the OSR, you're picking on me. All right, the OSR is not a thing, okay? It cannot be any of those things. The OSR is an abstract concept that is constantly changing. It literally means whatever the fuck you want it to mean. So it cannot be racist, sexist, homophobic. It cannot be extreme right. It cannot be extreme left. People can be awful. People can be wonderful. People can be all these things or none of those things. But the OSR, currently at 7,000 plus games that date all the way back to the late 70s, being played by a infinite number of people at an infinite number of times, an infinite number of games over an infinite number of time. They're not racist. They're not sexist. The OSR is not baby-eating, zombie-loving, kitten-kicking, evil motherfuckers. Okay? If anybody has a problem, it's not the OSR. It's the individuals who are clout-chasing this story in an attempt to be relevant. Oh, the OSR picked on me. They're all horrible. No. People are horrible. The OSR is just an abstract concept that is constantly changing. Now, moving on to Monday. Damn. How much trouble am I going to get for using that song? All right. So, basic expert for choosing to interview this very controversial individual has received non-stop hate for it. And Jethro received non-stop hate for it. And then RPG Pundit got involved with it because he made tons and tons and tons and tons of posts and tons and tons and tons of tweets, including supposedly possibly opening up puppet accounts all to before, during, and after this thing because of his issues with Jethro, because of Jethro's anti-Semitic statements, and because of RPG Pundit's history with anti-Semitism in his family. He took very strongly with this. This has always been one of RPG Pundit's cornerstone, that he is against anything resembling anti-Semitism, especially since his family fought Nazis and still do. So he took a great umbrage with the basic expert's choice to interview Jethro. Jethro, a very controversial figure. I've even had a dust-up with him, who has chosen a very controversial statement, which of course is completely bullshit, regarding Advanced Dungeons & Dragons First Edition, the way he runs his game, 1.1 time, and all the other stuff that Jethro and the BROSR claim to be part of their, religion. I wonder if Jethro and Scott Garraby have ever had a conversation, since they both basically preach a version of the same nonsense. Now, Jethro's theory has already been disproven by myself and by people far smarter than me. The whole rules is written thing is bullshit, okay? That's been proven scientifically. So, Jethro, interview, actually, he said a few condescending things. He said a few questionable things, but that's the character. So here's the reason why I chose this song. Now, we have to turn back to a long time ago in pro wrestling history. We have to turn back to right after Desert Storm, Desert Shield happened. And America was very much pro Hulk Hogan, pro America, pro the American flag, against, everything that we were, Afghanistan, all those guys, the PLO, just America first. Vince McMahon chose to take a very respected American icon pro wrestler, Sergeant Slaughter, and turn him heel and align him with the Iron Sheik, an infamous heel from the glory days of the WWF, and Sheik Andal Al-Casey, another classic anti-American heel, and Nikolai Volkov. So he in order to generate that heat, that pro-America, anti-everything that isn't America, pro-Desert Storm, pro-Desert Shield, anti-Afghanistan, anti-PLO, anti-Saddam Hussein. He took this iconic pro-American character and turned him heel and turned him anti-American. Even had him spit on the American flag. People were irate. The amount of hate those individuals got for portraying those characters and portraying that mindset, and the amount of hate Vince McMahon got for portraying those characters for going against America. But then the pop when this played, and Hogan, who emphasizes everything America, came out and defeated those guys. And people are like, I hated what Vince McMahon did, but I understand why he did it, because at the end of the day, it was good business. It got people in the seats, and every week people were turning in to see what horrible thing Evil Sergeant Slaughter, the Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, and Sheik Andal Al-Casey were going to do, these anti-American scumbags. Somebody who, Sergeant Slaughter, now he was G.I. Joe. I mean, he was fucking G.I. Joe, and now he turned heel, and how dare he? Now move forward to today. Move forward. Now here is what I think, and maybe I'm completely wrong, but this is a editorial. Jethro is a character this individual chooses to play, and a lot of what Jethro does is kayfabe. Jethro is the heel manager of the BROSR, and much like the NWO, the BROSR is his heel stable. And Jethro and the BROSR say things to garner heel heat, because they know that heel heat will attract attention to them. I mean, he even kind of admitted it during his interview with Basic Expert, that a lot of what he says is kayfabe. And a lot of what the BROSR says is bullshit. It's an act. It's an act to get attention. They created these characters. They created this stable. They're embracing this imaginary BROSR. We lift weights and play D&D, and we play D&D the one true way that Gygax intended. And we play D&D rules as written, and we haven't changed since day one, which, of course, is already completely bullshit. You are not playing rules as written. You're playing rules as perceived, and that perception constantly changes, okay? And there's thousands of people all playing the exact same game, and yet they're playing it all differently. So, yeah, nobody is playing rules as written. You're playing rules as perceived. That changes. We change. We evolve. The game evolves. How we play evolves. 1.1 time. I mean, all that stuff is just, it's abstract concepts, okay? I mean, God love you if you're actually playing every week, Jethro, but we know that a lot of that is also the act. So while I find Jethro's statements of anti-Semitism, racism absolutely disgusting, and I find anybody defending Jethro also absolutely disgusting, and I also think, well, Pundit, you've said some pretty awful things too, but I respect your right to free speech. And did Pundit go too far? Maybe. But Pundit is also a character that individual chooses to play. The way he looks, the way he dresses, the way he speaks. Pundit is the face, or maybe the tweener, who went too far. Jethro is the heel, the BROSR is the heel, who went too far. And while I just, I just, how dare you spout anti-Semitism, but then also, and I hate even more people who defend Jethro because they think he's serious. And if he is serious, that's awful. I mean, dude, stop it. But what if this is just he's playing the heel? What if he's doing the exact same thing that Vince McMahon did after Desert Storm, after Desert Shield, after 9/11, where Vince introduced anti-American characters who said and did horrible things, crossed a lot of lines. I mean, literally, one episode he had somebody murder a guy. Weirdly enough, that guy was back the next week, but sure, And Jethro's anti-Semitism statement. Now, Jethro, if you do believe in that anti-Semitism, you know what I think of you. And it's a line that you just crossed, and I will block and mute you. But defending free speech and the fact that I do think Jethro is a character and the BROSR are a stable, and they're portraying heels to generate heat and to get eyes on them. Did they just choose anti-Semitism as the token thing to get people angry at them because they knew it would trigger people like Pundit, or are they really anti-Semitic? You know, I don't know any of these people. I don't know what they think outside of the box of role-playing. Now, the stuff that comes out of their mouth in regards to the hobby is wrong, stupid, racist, anti-Semitic, ugly, and they should be blocked and banned for perpetuating hate and perpetuating a pointless argument, right? But, you know, but it's free speech, and Twitter is a place for idiots. Now, Pundit, same thing. Pundit went too far. He said some things, and Pundit got banned. And people are like, how dare the BROSR get Pundit banned? Well, the BROSR didn't get Pundit banned. Pundit got Pundit banned because he triggered the algorithm. He said a word. He said hammer. And he used it in a term that could have been interpreted as hostile. And so the algorithm went, oh, you're threatening to hurt somebody. Ban. Hey, I got banned from Twitter for a week for mentioning the Vecna's head thing and the guy who cut his own head off to replace his head with Vecna's head twice in a conversation I was having with Christopher Perkins, and we're talking about Vecna's head, and I got banned, and I think Perkins got banned too because we mentioned the fact that, oh, this actually happened. Some guy cut his own head off and tried to replace it with Vecna's head, but oh, whoops, he cut his own head off. Twice, same dude. That's a separate story, but I got banned. So, did people complain about what Pundit said? Absolutely. Did Pundit get blocked and muted by dozens of people? Absolutely. Did people complain about what Jethro and the BROSR say and continue to say? Absolutely. Did tons of people block and mute Jethro? Absolutely. I blocked and muted him years ago. Is RPG Pundit a character this individual chooses to play? Yes. Is OGGM a character I choose to play? Yes. Is Jethro and the BROSR characters these individuals choose to play on social media in order to generate heat? And did he go too far trying to generate heat by picking these token hot topics, knowing full well that he would generate tons of heel heat? Now, I like to think the best of everybody, including people who are passionate about the hobby, unless they consistently prove to be just a mark like J. Scott Garrity, you know, that maybe it was an act. I hope that in reality he is not anti-Semitic. I hope in reality he's just chosen a topic because he knows it'll piss people off. It is still wrong, Jethro. Even if that is your character, you are perpetuating hate towards Jews. Jews aren't a race. Yes, they are. Jews aren't a species. Yes, they are. Jews aren't a people. Yes, they are. So you went too far. There's no question. Choosing the anti-Semitism thing went too far. Shame on you. But I've blocked and muted you. Pundit, did you go too far? And all the things Pundit's been accused of over the last 2 weeks? Probably. But then, you know, Pundit probably thinks I'm an idiot. So have I blocked and muted Pundit? Not yet, but I'm sure if he, goes too far, I will. If you go too far and you say things I don't like on Twitter, I'll just block and mute you. I'm not going to get you banned because I believe you have the right to make money on Twitter. That's what we're all here for. I believe you have the right to spout out whatever bullshit you want because free speech, and I can't say I'm pro-free speech and then say, oh, ban this guy for spouting anti-Semitism. I can say, hey, I'm going to block you. I'm going to mute you. I'm going to report you because you're spreading hate speech, and that goes against the Twitter laws, and this is supposed to be a safe space where we just want to talk about stupid elf game and idiot goblins with sticks. Okay, so at the end of the day, we're arguing over, again, a stupid elf game. You're playing D&D wrong. If you don't play D&D my way, you're a horrible person. You're picking on me, OSR, because you don't play the way I play, and you get mad at me when I say no things about you. You're horrible. You're all horrible. Everybody's horrible. I'm horrible. You're horrible. The dog's horrible. The cat's horrible. We're all horrible, awful people. Everybody poops. Everybody's the same. Okay, the OSR means nothing. I think I've gone on too long about this. But again, I just want to close by saying, not that I'm defending the BROSR. Not that I'm defending Jethro, but I am wondering how much of the bullshit that comes out of Jethro's mouth, and he is an ass clown, is real, and how much of it is an act. How much of what comes out of Pundit's mouth is real, because he's an asshole, and how much of comes out of Pundit's mouth is an act. How much of what comes out of my mouth is real, because I'm an asshole who's here just to fucking shill my product and make money. I've admitted that since day one. And how much of it is real? How much of what I say do I actually believe? And how much of what I say is the character of the OGM because I'm trying to generate heat? Anyways, that's all I have to say on the OSR culture war for this week. I'm sure we'll be back next Friday with a brand new episode of this, and I'll play another song that'll get me in trouble. But until then, remember, OSR Maniacs, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and believe in the power of Hulkamania. NWO for life. I'm the OGGM. See ya. If this content offended anybody, I'm sorry. On the other hand, think of all the heat I'll generate.